thrilling, unpredictable, and terrifying. It sounds like I've just described a roller coaster to you, but in fact, what I've described to you is the life of anyone that's self-employed, like Maya, who's an Uber driver as she's getting her web development company set up. And more importantly, I'm describing their cash flow. It's often volatile, unpredictable, which leads to some very exciting but terrifying times. My name is Tricia Jose, and I started this company because I wanted to make a difference in people's lives. I just completed my master's in biomedical engineering, where I built an intelligent wheelchair system for people with dementia, and I've also wrote and directed an original musical that's raised over $300,000 for international and local efforts. So what's compelled me about this problem is that it's not a small one. There are 68 million self-employed workers in North America, with projections of 40% of the working generation being self-employed by 2020. But while these are some of the most hardworking people I've ever met, often going beyond the 9 to 5, they're some of the most underserved by technology. When we look at the solution set, we often see, a lot of personal finance solutions and a lot of corporate finance solutions, but very little offering for people whose personal and corporate lives intersect, especially when they're so vulnerable with this volatile income. So that's where Sprout comes in. Sprout is a cash flow management system for self-employed individuals and professionals. It works like this. Whenever an individual's paycheck comes in, Sprout automatically withholds the appropriate amount of money necessary for taxes, similar to what an employer does for a salaried worker. Beyond that, we talk about this volatile income. Sprout provides a cash flow cushion. So what that means is that when there's a prediction of a low period of income, Sprout takes a portion of that high period of income and puts it away preemptively to smoothen out that cash flow. All in the background, Sprout uses a chat-based user interface system so that Sprout can alert the users of different expenses, business expenses, tax credits and deductions that they're eligible for, different ways to structure themselves so that they can really get the most bang for their buck, because we all know that they work hard enough as it is. When we look at the competitive landscape, we see a lot of incredible accounting solutions like Wave and QuickBooks, some really exciting personal finance solutions like My Loan Capital, but neither of these really service the group that Sprout is targeting. The small business solutions are often too complex for sole proprietors, and while these automated savings programs are great, they really don't help with business cash flow management, with taxes, and smoothing out that cash flow. So Sprout is in a unique position to actually collaborate rather than compete with these people. Our revenue model takes a subscription fee, much similar to the models that those accounting softwares do use, and we also take a referral fee. Through our unique insights, by understanding these users and their behavior, we're able to understand their true needs so that our vendors and other third-party partners can actually create better product offerings for this demographic. All in all, we're looking at about $2 million of revenue at the end of year one with 20,000 users. And how will we get those users, you ask? We're looking at different verticals within the self-employment space, starting with Uber drivers like Maya, on-demand rideshare drivers, and then the creative digital nomads, and then finally, real estate agents and other consultants. We also see this as an incredible opportunity to partner with some of these bigger players in the space like Uber, Upwork, or Remax to offer, as someone said earlier, the B2B2C approach so that they can offer financial stability for their independent contractors. We've had a busy year. We raised a little bit of money at the beginning of the year. We soft launched after our participation in the Next 36 program, and now we're one of 5 ventures in the DMZ BMO FinTech Accelerator in Toronto. We're doing closed beta testing and iterative product development. This is actually version 2. In version 1, we grew a waitlist of 1,000 people and beta tested with 40 individuals, which led us to the second version. We're looking towards a public launch in the winter. Our team has experience across law, business, behavioral economics, design, engineering, but most of all, we're composed of people that really want to make a difference. Our advisors are some of the best across finance, product, and academia, and we've got some really great organizations behind us. For those of us who are on this crazy ride of self-employment or starting a company, we're here because we love it, but we also know that it's best when it's shared. So we encourage you to join Sprout so that we can help you continue to grow small businesses and sole proprietors' businesses everywhere instead of their workload. Thank you so much.
Sorry, very interesting. How do you see the expansion of your model, and in which country, and how do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we're starting out in Canada, but we know that the self-employment space is much larger in the US. So we're very interested in going to the US there. When you see that 68 million number there, only a small fraction of that is in Canada. So really our goal in the next year after this year is to focus on expanding to the US. And then as the projections grow, for 2020, like I said, those numbers are expected to grow even larger. So our main focus is really proving the model in Canada and then expanding to the US in the next year and then seeing if there's other models. We're trying to be very focused.
Thank you, Tricia. You used the metaphor of the roller coaster very well, and I'm just curious. You describe how you smooth out the cash flow challenges of the self-employed people.
Yes.
Of course, self-employment is on the up, so I understand the fundamentals for your market are really good. But do you see other aspects of the experience of self-employment which Sprout is going to assist with? Do you see the development of additional value adds? Yeah,
so and that's why I mentioned the unique positioning of Sprout, where first we're focusing on smoothing cash flow. We started out actually as trying to help people grow their wealth, and this actually grew from the understanding that people who are self-employed don't save towards retirement. So we're using taxes as sort of that pain to get in front of people. They know that they have to put away money every month, and then we're using that to initiate cash flow. But it actually puts us in a position where we can then suggest other services that are relevant to them, whether it's accounting, whether it's then going to Wealthsimple if they are trying to grow their retirement fund. So there's a great amount of services in the financial health sphere, and we're hopefully just going to be at the center of that to help direct people, almost like a concierge system.
Shadi.
First of all, a nice job, good stage presence. Tricia, are you going only direct, or will you consider going through FIs? I saw BMO's name there and some others. Can you comment on that?
Yeah, so that's definitely something that we are trying to understand, and this accelerator program that we're a part of is really helping us understand what that might look like. How we can see ourselves working is similar to other models of other competitors in sort of the personal finance space, where they offer a third-party application that people can go direct to, but it can also go through their financial institution as a white-labeled approach. And so similar to how there's small business banking, we're trying to see with BMO and with other financial institutions if there's an opportunity for sort of that sole proprietor banking model. Their needs are quite different than a small business and quite different from an individual. So we're trying to see if we can sort of approach it from those two ways.
Wow. You said you were B2B2C, right?
Yes.
So during your presentation, you were very much looking on the C side, which is I help you smooth out your income, your tax, et cetera, et cetera. What about the B side? So I'm on Uber and you go, here's my solution. Do you have data on to what extent you reduce staff turnover? What's the benefit for the B to then give it to their own consumer, essentially?
Yeah, that's a great question too. So in the States, we've seen partnerships with Lyft and with Uber with sort of the robo-advisors. So they're actually trying to solve the problem of automatic retirement contributions. And so we've seen a lot of willingness from these B companies to partner with organizations such as Sprout. In terms of numbers, the numbers that we have really seen are around the C side, and it's we see if you file your tax deductions accordingly, you can get up to $4,000 of deductions as a sole proprietor in Canada, up to $8,000 in the States. And so those advantages, we're trying to help make a case so that the Ubers of the world will partner for financial stability, since they don't offer that financial stability directly to their consumers. And we do see that willingness to partner in the States, and I think we're just trying to see what those numbers are in those partnerships.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.